What's good, YouTube? Just a casual nerd here, back again with another video. And today we're going to talk about the show called The Bear that's now streaming on Hulu. My best friend had actually recommended this to me a couple weeks ago, and I got a chance to watch it maybe a week or so ago. And I ended up watching it all in one day, so that should already tell you that it's a pretty good show. It only has one season up right now, and that season is about 8 episodes, so not too bad, not too bad at all. But I definitely think you guys should watch this show. It's definitely one of those shows that kind of catches you by surprise on how good it is, given the nature of what the show is actually about. Since it's like a restaurant show, but not like in the sense of the Food Network. It's kind of, if I had to explain it, it's kind of like if the Food Network met the show Atlanta and could kind of combine those two, and then what you have is The Bear. So a really good combination. But without any further ado, I'm gonna get into 3 reasons why you should be watching The Bear. And the first reason would be it's relatable. Now, there's a lot of people who's probably listening or watching this video who's probably worked in a restaurant environment in some form or fashion, whether it's for a month and you decided to quit, or whether for a couple years, either you or someone very close to you has most likely worked in a restaurant environment. So this show kind of really takes you in kind of a little bit of behind the scenes, like a lot of the back of house things and some of the front of house things that goes on in a really, of course, intense way. But even though it's intense, it's still kind of really how it is sometimes in certain facilities. So in that instance alone, it's relatable to a wide audience. It's not some type of a grandiose show that some fantastical show that we'll never actually experience or could relate to. It's really down to earth. And I'm gonna get more into the character side of it in my second point, but it's really down to earth with the environment, kind of like the everyday person, the everyday guy or woman who's trying to make ends meet. This is the type of environment that this show surrounds itself with. It's a show that's not trying to be more than what it is. Like when you watch the show, you actually feel like you're watching a genuine restaurant activity unfolding. You really feel like you're in the back of the house. You're in there cooking or washing the dishes or preparing the front of the house. The cinematography and the directors did a really good job of really kind of making the audience feel like they're actually a part of the restaurant as well. And I know I'm not giving a lot of specific details. I'm going to try not to give actual spoilers for this one due to I want you guys to actually watch the show. But yeah, the director did a really good job of that. And if I had to kind of sum up things, it would be, if it's not one thing, it's definitely another. And I know that's how a lot of us kind of feel sometimes when we're trying to progress or do things better. One thing, comes up, one problem comes up, and you got to solve that. But the show does really a good job of showing these things and showing these difficulties. And what I like about it is the problems that occur is not just to move the plot along, but it's also to move the characters along, to move their story along, and not just to get to the next plot point that they want to get to. Which actually brings me to reason number 2, which is the characters. Now, the characters are heavily involved in this show. Like, I think you see almost every character, every episode. The main character, of course, is his name is Carmy, he's a professional chef who's came down to take over his family business after his brother passed away. Now, none of the other characters are actually, at his level for his being a professional chef, but they all have differences, and that's what I really like about the show. If you look at every single character, there's no character that's alike. Yeah, you have this chef, but then you have someone like Richie, who's like a kind of a homegrown Chicago guy. You have characters like Sydney, who's trying to better herself or get to this place that she wants to be, as in being a chef as well. You have guys like Marcus, he just wants to, make some dope donuts, So they all have some different character arcs, but they all come from different places, different walks of life, but they all have to commune in this one small location to make this restaurant work. And that's something you can find, every day in your work life, wherever you are. Wherever you're currently working, whether it's in a restaurant or a regular job, it's kind of like this, boiling or melting pot of these different characters, and they do a really good job of showing the differences in each character and how they still have to make things work. And all the characters, when it goes back to being relatable as well, they have like real reactions, not something that you feel like someone like a writer just drew or just wrote out just for the drama sake of it. It's like real reactions. Like if you worked at a restaurant, I'm sure there's been plenty of times where you just want to quit and walk out for whatever reason that may be. That may be your coworkers, or you're just kind of just tired tired of the job. That is definitely relatable with a lot of the characters, what they have to deal with. Again, not to give away some plot points, but some different things they have to deal with. They just kind of want to just be done with it, which is totally relatable, because this restaurant is like one of those jobs where you apply thinking it's maybe a decent job or just get by, but in the interview they say, hey, it's a fast-paced environment, but we're a family here. Yeah, this is one of those things, and 8 times out of 10 it's probably gonna suck. But one thing I do like about these characters is, even though sometimes it does suck, it seems like a lot of times they actually do want to be there and do want to work it out. So seeing them try to solve these problems in spite of these adversities is kind of it's a great thing to watch. And my last and final point is that this show is actually bingeable. Now, I know a lot of people, they like to watch shows from week to week. Of course, I kind of came up on the show after it had already aired, so I just actually ended up binging all 8 episodes in one day. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, isn't every show bingeable if it's on a streaming platform? In my opinion, not necessarily. Like, you say, for example, you have shows on Netflix where each episode is like an hour, but each episode it kind of drags along. There's some very good episodes, but then there's other episodes that's kind of just slow, and there's a lot of dialogue that's not really, seems like it's not really going anywhere. So to me, I won't consider that bingeable. You have to kind of break that up a little bit more. But in this show, each episode is intriguing enough to where you actually want to see what happens next. It kind of keeps you wondering, okay, how are they going to solve this issue, or how are they going to get through this a relationship barrier. Okay, this problem seems kind of small, but is actually very significant for this type of business that they're in. So you really stay captivated with the dialogue, with their problems. And I will say, my favorite episode of this show was definitely episode 7. I was literally captivated all the way through. It literally kind of felt like a season finale. I was captivated all the way through this episode. So once you get there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you already watched it, you do know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a bingeable in the fact that, yeah, it does keep you captivated. I know you're thinking, oh, it's a restaurant show that, it's probably not that intense, but yeah, it does get intense because the directors did a good job of bringing you into their world, into their issues, into what they're thinking, and what the problems that they have to solve. So I definitely recommend it. You may be able to finish it in one day, but you may be able to break it up in 2 days. Like I say, it's 8 episodes. Episodes are not too long. Some are maybe like 40-ish something minutes. Some maybe a little shorter, a little longer. So it's definitely, digestible. And when season 2 drops, I may do the week to week thing for this particular show, because I am very fond of it. Or I may just wait till it all drops on Hulu. I'm not sure yet. I think you can do it either way. I may just do it the week to week just to see the difference of it. I did like being able to watch it all in that day, but I think it's captivating enough to where I can watch it week to week and still want to see what happens, or still be able to wait till the next week. But for those of you who like to just binge watch shows, yeah, you can definitely do this one. Like I said, 8 episodes, and the episode length is not too long. But what are you listening to me for anyway? I'm a casual. Cue the outro.